I'm telling you right now, this video is going to create future millionaires. Like, without a doubt in my mind, this video is going to create future millionaires, and you might just be one of them. This is information that I should be charging thousands of dollars for, but I don't even believe it myself that I'm giving this out for completely free. But here I am. You're welcome. This information, if you actually do and follow it step by step, which is the amazing thing about e-commerce, if you do things correctly, step by step, you will be successful without a doubt. If you follow what I'm teaching you in this video, step by step, you are going to make so much money. And I've literally put my heart and soul into this. I've been working all day, since 5 a.m. on making this as intricate and as in detail as possible, so you guys could understand every single facet of all this. And this is going to change your life if you actually take this information and use it. This isn't shit that you see normally on Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube. This is actually shit that I've used to get to the next level. And just for reference, I am a normal ass kid. I had normal grades, a 3.0 GPA. I'm not the dumbest person, but I'm not the brightest person also. And I'm able to amass multiple 7 figures online from e-commerce. And my first few years doing this, I didn't make shit. And the reason for that was I was following gurus that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They were teaching a business model that they'd never actually done. They were posting Lambos, posting all that garbage, and I fell into the trap, and I was learning from people that didn't know what they were talking about, so I had to learn it myself. So this isn't information I gathered from online. This is genuine information that I had to learn and go over the trials and tribulations to get to. And just for reference, last 30 days, $112,000. Last 7 days, we're at $23,000, and today so far it's time is it? Whatever. I'm at $5,000 already, and this is the craziest thing about this too, which you're probably not gonna believe me, is this is all organic traffic. I'm not running any paid ads, none of that garbage. This is organic traffic, and imagine when I actually put ads into the store, how it's going to rip. So this is an absolute winner. I'm gonna be literally going over everything, so please just copy me. All right, so first things first, this is how I made $100,000 organically dropshipping in one singular month. And just for reference, so I'm not talking BS, I'm gonna go over a couple of my students. One of my students named Gadiel, he started with $200, and within 3 months working with me, he made $22,000. Then one of my hometown friends, James, he went from being in school, broke, in debt, all that good stuff, all the way up to making 10K per month, and he's doing that consistently, running multiple stores with me under my wing. And then another one of my students, and his name is Dom, went from $100 to 8K per month in just 2 months of coaching. And no, I'm not going to say it's a get-rich-quick scheme, but these guys are following a step-by-step program that I'm teaching them, so that's why they're getting to this number so quickly. So a lot of you guys might take this information, it might take you a bit longer, but that's just because you don't have someone under your wing telling you every single micromanaged step to do. All right, without further ado, let's get into it, because I want you guys to be a millionaire as soon as possible. So first things first, as everyone knows, when it comes to organic dropshipping and all that, you need to do your product research. So finding a product is one of the hardest things for a lot of people, and they get stumped on that, and they end up never even starting because they don't know what product to do or even where to find good products. And drumroll please, the burner method still works. So if you guys don't know what the burner method is basically making a fake TikTok account and you only interact with dropshipping products. So basically you're training your TikTok algorithm to just give you winning products over and over. And I know this is a method from back in 2022, but it still works. It's still giving you live products that are being ran today. So if it's not broke, do not fix it. So the way to get these on your For You page is to be looking up these hashtags here. So for example, you're going to want to look up TikTok made me buy. This is going to give you a bunch of products, but under this hashtag, you don't want to choose any of these products. Why? Because these are going to be the most popular products, the most saturated products that you do not want to run. So all you're doing by looking up these hashtags here is interacting with the posts that are under these hashtags. So what you want to do is follow, like, save, comment, share as many of them as possible. And over time, your For You page is going to see, oh, this guy likes dropshipping products, let me just fill his feed up with it. So if you interact with this for about a few hours, your For You page is going to be an absolute banger. It's going to give you a bunch of winning products, a bunch of stuff there. But that is the easiest part of all this. Next, we actually have to validate the product. So we have to make sure the product actually works, because a lot of these products could be oversaturated. They could just be pure garbage or just not work in 2025. So to actually validate a product, I've been using this checklist for the past few years, and it still works to this day. I give this to all my students. So I'm going to go over it very briefly. You should know mostly things already, but if not, take a screenshot. But anyways, I'll go over it briefly. So first, you need it to be a problem-solving product. Everyone's heard that before, right? Does it solve a problem? Is it addressing a pain or insecurity that prompts impulse into buying? So overall, you need to be making people make an impulse buy. That's one of the biggest things. They got to be making an impulse buy. No one's going on TikTok looking to buy something. So you have to strike that insecurity or pain that makes them pull out their credit card, go to your website, and buy something. Next, you want to make sure that your product can be bought at like Walmart, 7-Eleven, Target, like some random store, because if it could just be bought anywhere, that means it's most likely oversaturated. And on the other note, like, why would someone buy off of your random website that they've never heard of instead of just going a couple minutes down the street to their local Target and buying that same product? So make sure it is not anywhere at some like big retail market. Next, the product should have a wow factor. So when they're scrolling on TikTok, people are just drooling while they're scrolling. They're mindlessly scrolling on TikTok. They don't know what they're watching. They're just going. So it has to have a wow factor. Your product needs to stop someone in their tracks from scrolling. So it prompts something in their brain to be like, oh, I need this product. Let me look into it and maybe buy this product. It has to have a wow factor. This is one of the most important things. Next is make sure the quality is good on the product. A lot of times, if you're selling a product that isn't the best, you're going to get a lot of chargebacks. You're going to get a lot of refunds. It's not going to be a fun game. So you can make $1,000 in sales, but you get $200 in refunds, and then your account gets banned. But you want to make sure that your product is actually a good product. And the way to validate that is to look at AliExpress reviews. You want to make sure that the reviews are over 3.5 stars. If it is, good to go. Next, one of the most important things also is to make sure it is not saturated. So you want to make sure your product's not saturated by checking if it's being sold by other accounts. So you want to avoid, first off, products that have been sold for more than 3 to 5 months, because if that is the case, most likely oversaturated. A lot of times when someone's selling a product for multiple months, that means it's working for them and they're the kingpin of the whole dropshipping realm of that product. So you want to stay away from products that have been being run for a long time. And the way to check that is just to look at their posts, go to their oldest post and see how long they've been running it for. So if your product checks at least 4 out of these 5, you have a winning product. And if it checks 5 out of 5, then you got a super banger product. Go ahead and run it. So next thing you want to do is order the product to your house. And in the meantime, while you're waiting for the product to come to your house, you're going to be wanting to do the little in-between things so you're not wasting any time. So once the product's at your house, you're ready to go and launch. So in the meantime, while the product is on the way to your house, you want to do some market research. So you want to see what type of people are buying your product. You want to understand how to sell to these people, understand the market, what these people like, what these people research, what these people look into, hobbies that are related to this product. You want to look into all those sorts of things, so when the product comes, you're ready to film content, you know what to post, you know what to say, you know what audios to use, all that good stuff. Also, you're going to be wanting to set up your social. So you want to set up your Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, make your logo, pick your username, pick your all the good stuff, start thinking of the colors you want to use, and that really dips into brainstorming. So you want to brainstorm all the stuff, have a general idea of what you want to do with this product, the marketing angles, all that intricate stuff. You want to start brainstorming, having a somewhat idea, so once the product comes to your house, you're not completely clueless. Next, the most important part, which is your marketing, your content, what you're posting, your organic content. This is how you're going to get sales. This is how people are going to go to your website. This is how people are going to find you. Without content, you're going to be stuck at 0 sales. So first, before we get into content, we have to understand the goal of organic content, okay? So the purpose of your organic content is to mimic a viral ad without looking like one. If you're posting stuff that looks like an ad, that looks like you're trying to sell something to someone, do you really think it's going to stop them in their tracks, or you think they're just going to scroll on? When's the last time you actually sat there and watched a full ad on YouTube? When's the last time you actually watched a full ad on TikTok? No one watches ads, so you have to blend in, act like you're just a normal creator and the product is a product of the environment. You are not selling. You're not selling a product. You are storytelling. You are solving problems. You are entertaining them with a product in it. So the product is a product of the environment. Let me say that again. Your product is a product of the environment. Your product isn't really the main show. It is just part of the content, gets views, gets likes, gets laughs, makes people angry. Whatever it is, it's a product of the video. It is not something you're like, hey, 50% off, buy this right now. No, people aren't going to fall for that garbage anymore. It's 2025. Wake up. And a kind of idea you want to have is people should share or comment before they even know it's a product. So you want people to interact with the post before they even know that you're trying to sell something. Once they're actually like looking into the post, then they're like, oh, where can I maybe get this from? That's kind of like the end goal you want to have, is have people understand that it is a product that they can buy and it is at your store. But you don't want to add like a CTA or anything crazy like that in most of your organic videos, just because it's going to look too like you're hungry for it, you're selling something, and people don't like sales breath. So now that you understand organic content, you're going to want to get into marketing angles. This is how to stand out organically. So a lot of times a product is very saturated, right? So the way to get around saturation, if you have a really good product, is to Go in a different marketing angle. That's going to lead you to a blue sea where there's not a lot of people that are fighting for that product in that area. So the way to stand out with a marketing angle, well, first off, let's get into what a marketing angle is. A marketing angle is the lens through which you present your product. It is the storyline or problem you attach to it. So the marketing angle is the way you present your product, basically. So if you have the same product but a different angle, you're going to reach a different audience, a different type of competition, and different results. And this is one of the biggest things with organic dropshipping, is finding a new marketing angle. So on TikTok or Reels, saturated angles are ignored videos. If you've seen the same video 100 times, you're not going to want to watch it again. This is just common sense. So you have to use this into your business ideas also. And you have to understand that your competition is typically using the same 1 or 2 viral scripts. They're using the same thing over and over again. And people have seen this. If they're in that niche where they're looking for a specific product like that, they've probably already seen your competitors' videos, especially if they've been around for a couple of months. So the biggest thing is you need to stand out. So standing out is using an angle that nobody is thinking about, but still hits a big group of people emotionally. So you can't just have a marketing angle that applies to a small group of people. You still have to reach a broad audience. So that's the hardest part about finding a marketing angle. You have to still reach a big audience. You can't have an angle that's so slim that it only reaches a couple thousand people. You still want to reach hundreds of thousands and even millions of people. So a good angle is going to be less saturated, still highly relatable, focused on real pain or desire, and is creative enough to blend into organic content, okay? So next, we're going to want to dial into our customer avatar. And what this means is, who would buy this? What language do they speak? What are these people looking for? Like, who are you selling this product to? So for example, if you're selling a product that solves back pain, is your audience an athletic guy that has been working out a lot and needs help with his back pain? Or is it a mom working at home, cleaning, doing the dishes on her knees, wiping the floors down? Is that why her back hurts? Are we selling to the moms? Or is it just a TikTok viewer that's scrolling, watching funny videos? We have to understand who we are selling to. So if we're selling to the athletic guy, we're going to have to adjust the tone, the visuals, and the style based on that. We have to align it to the gym or to running or to fighting, whatever he's doing. We have to adjust the tone, visuals, and style of our content to fit to that person. So that is going to be our customer avatar. We must figure that out before we start posting. So we're going to get into reverse engineering viral content. This is extremely important. What is this formula? So we are not inventing content from scratch. That is the last thing we really want to do. We need to be studying top performing organic creatives on TikTok Shop and using that data to build our own unique version, especially if they're selling your exact product or something similar. So we're not just recreating the wheel, just making up content out of our ass. We need to be following what's actually working because, so for example, for my personal brand, what I do on my Instagram, I can repost the same video like 10 times and it goes viral every single time. If I repost a shitty video 10 times, it'll probably be shitty 10 different times. So we use that same ideology into organic content. What works already works. Let's double down on it. And I understand that this might confuse you. Like, oh, does that mean it's saturated though? Like, why would this work if it's already saturated? People are doing it. That is where having a different marketing angle works, because now you could use people's viral content formula in your same niche, but just switch it towards your marketing angle. You see how that works, how everything's aligning together? This is very, very important to understand. So one of the biggest things is to look at TikTok Shop videos. These people that are running these TikTok Shop videos, they're usually running under an agency or they're following other people, and their hooks are really good. They're making millions and millions of dollars for TikTok selling these affiliate products. So you could use that baseline, that outline for how they're scripting and using their videos, the audios, their hooks, all that stuff, and kind of copy what they're doing. Also, we could use our burner account. So remember when we made that fake account in the beginning to look for products? So we could go to our burner since it's fully trained and it shows us winning content. We could view the profiles of people that are posting TikTok Shop videos or just normal dropshipping videos and filter their posts by most popular. What this is going to do is it's going to show us their most viral videos, their best videos that reach the most amount of people. So our goal is to study those patterns, okay? We must study the patterns. We have to look, what made these videos go viral? Why did these videos go viral for them? What hook did they use? What audio did they use? What hashtags? What coloring? What lighting? We have to look at everything, analyze everything. Use our brains and analyze every single intricate detail of it. It's like a science. We need to dissect everything about it. So what hook they use, how they transition, when they show the product, how they structure the call to action, all that good stuff. And the way to find these good accounts is we have to look for high following and high view accounts. We don't want to look at someone that's obviously failing, that's getting thousands, just a couple thousand views per post. We want someone that's crushing, getting hundreds of thousands of views per post, and then copying their formula. So one of the good things to do is look for people with 100K followers or consistently hitting 500K views. This is for the highest echelon, but around that range, anywhere from 50,000 followers to 100,000 followers, that range is pretty good to copy people because they obviously know what they're doing if they have that many followers. And one of the best things with this is, like I said before, is these people are working with agency-backed brands. So these brands and agencies that are running behind these people know exactly what people are looking for. So all we could do is copy what they're doing, basically take what the agency is doing for them and take it for ourselves for completely free. So these are some of the things you want to ask yourself. What did they say in the first second of the video? What camera angle or style did they use to film this video? When did the product get introduced? So when did they show the product into the actual frame of the video? And was there any humor? Was there pain, shock, or a story to it? We need to dissect every little part of their videos to understand why it went viral. So this is kind of like a broad understanding of all the things we just talked about. So we want to go to TikTok profiles, look at the most viral posts, copy the idea, and then modify it towards our marketing angle. We never really want to post random content. We want to post what the market proved already works. So now that we understand how to reverse engineer viral content, we need to get into a posting schedule. How often are you going to be posting? So what I like to do, what personally works for me, is post 1 to 3 times per day. Every single day, no skipping. And we want to aim for a mix of styles. So we want to aim for POVs, skits, problem to solution, raw product demos, commentary, emotional storytelling, relatable humor, okay? But that is only for week 1, okay? I have this split up in weeks. I have this shit all down to a science here, all right? So please listen to me. I've been doing this shit for years. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So we're going to want to test everything. This is our creative testing phrase. So at this time, we're going to want to be testing all these different types of things, okay? We want to see what's going to stick, okay? We want to see, is this the type of audience that we're looking for? Is this the type of stuff they want? Like, we need to figure out what our audience wants to see and what TikTok wants to push. So we're going to be testing out all these different things. So you could take a screenshot of this right here. This is what we want to be testing out in the beginning, the first week of our posting. So after the end of week 1, we want to analyze and identify the hits. So our most viral videos, the ones that went the best, we need to go through our account and find any video that hit over 5,000 views. That's kind of what we're looking for in the first week, because I know it's a little bit hard to get some traction in the beginning. So we're staying kind of low here. We want to look for a video that's done at least 5,000 views. So if we got something that hit 5,000 views, we're going to reinvent it over and over again. Why? Because we know it fucking works. We know it works. So what we're going to do is copy the format, the hook, the flow, but change the script to match the angles and the demographics. We're going to just change it up a bit. So maybe switch up the angle on it or change the script just a tiny bit. But we're going to copy the same overall format of the video that actually went viral. So once we're doing that for a little while, we're going to want to play that long-term game, because we're not going to be able to use that over and over again for months to come. So what we want to do is, once we have that format that works, that we figured out what works, so let's say that the skits were our best ones, right? The skits were going the most viral. They're getting 10,000 views over and over again. Most of our posts are going to be skits, okay? We want 70% of our posts to be skits, the same style that already worked. But 30% of our posts, we want to test new ideas. So we still want to test new ideas, still be testing raw product demos or POVs or relatable humor. We still want to be testing, throwing stuff out there, because we never know what's going to hit. And maybe you did something different in these new 30% of posts that's going to hit, and you could understand, okay, that worked. Let me double down on that. And you want to continue this loop, okay? This creates a compounding loop of organic growth. This is going to let you not be stagnant. This is going to help you keep growing, breakthrough, keep growing, breakthrough, and you're just going to become unstoppable. Just like what I showed you, $100,000 in 1 month, it's because I'm doing this type of content strategy, and this is what I have all my students doing, and that's why they're killing it so quickly. So now that we have our posting schedule down, we need to get into our website, okay? This is a very, very important thing, because I know a lot of people say websites aren't the most important, but they still are pretty important. It's where you show off your product. This is like the showcase for it. So first off, this is the 3 things every Shopify store needs to have in 2025. First is a mobile first design. Okay, 80% of your visitors, and I honestly say more, this is like a study that I pulled from the internet, but think about it. Our customers and our leads are coming from TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. 99% of these people are on their phone scrolling when they come across your video. They're not on. Who have you seen scrolling on their computer watching TikTok? Nobody, okay? So I would change this more to like 99%, okay? So this is going to double down on why this is so important to have a mobile first design, okay? And basically what this means is to make sure that it's optimized for mobile over anything. So you don't have to worry too much about it looking good for desktop, but make sure it looks amazing on mobile. So if your store only looks good on desktop, you're going to lose out on so much money, because the second someone lands on your store, if it looks sketchy, everything's all crunched together, looks compact, you're going to lose 99% of people, basically. So we're going to want to use a conversion trust stack. We're going to use verified reviews, so we could use apps like Looks, Vitals, or even we could fake it, write our own early on. We also want to have a short guarantee section, a visible contact form typically at the bottom of your website where they could contact you. They put their name and email, and even if they're not using it, they know it's there, and it gives them ease of mind and makes them trust you a little bit more to buy from your store. Also, this is more to help us out where we don't have to answer so many emails and shit like that, but we want to have a frequently asked question section for objections. So also, while people are scrolling through your website, they're trying to find a reason not to buy your product. So giving the FAQ is going to give them another reason why to buy your product and get that negativity out of their mind. So we must always understand that people don't buy from ghost stores. Doing all these good things, showing like social proof of it, shows that there's actually somebody, a real business behind this brand. It's not just some random Chinese website that's phishing people's money. Also, we want to have a back-end money system. So email flows, which is going to help with abandoned carts, all that extra good stuff. We want to have one-click upsells and retargeting setup. So I'm going to get into this later on, but I just have it here so you guys could understand. So the basics, we need to understand the basics here, like what we really need. I went over to some of the more nitty gritty stuff, but these are the basics that everyone needs. First off, we need to have a custom domain connected. So we can't have it saying shopifyxyz.com with like a million numbers after it. It has to be our custom domain. So let's say your website's name or your brand's name is Fluxwave. It has to be fluxwave.com or fluxwave.shop. Don't use like any of those sketchy other things like fluxwave.xyz or whatever these people are using. You want to use .shop or .com. This has been proven to be the best. It's the most trustworthy, and it looks like a normal real brand that people come across all the time. Like we said before, we want to have a mobile first product page. We also need to make sure that we have our refund section live so people understand that they have a 14 or 30-day refund policy. If they don't like what they see, they send it back to us, but typically that doesn't happen if your product's not shipped. We also want to show our shipping times somewhere in our menu. So let's say your shipping times are pretty long, right? Like 3 weeks. This is a little bit sketchy here, right? So it might be in the gray hat area, but you could say like 1 to 3 weeks shipping. Like you could kind of pull it back a little bit, say it's a little bit less than it is, but it's still, it could be 3 weeks shipping. That's why you said 1 to 3 weeks shipping, but you could lie a little bit here if your shipping times are long. And then also we want to have privacy policies live. This is just obvious. Shopify has like templates for all that, so you don't have to worry about it. Next, we want to have trust badges and all that good stuff above the fold. So the trust badges, you want to have like saying 100% money back guarantee, refunds, all that good stuff. Have the badges there. There's a lot of apps that do that. Vitals does it for you. Also, you want to have an abandoned cart email flow active. So basically, in the beginning, you could offer a pop-up that takes 10% of people's money, right? Not money. So you offer 10% off in return for their email, okay? It's so hard to type on this. So we offer 10% off with a pop-up in return for the email. So what this does is if they don't buy anything, we have a system that automates it, and there's a lot of apps that does this on Shopify, and it sends them an email saying, oh, your cart is full, here, come buy it now. And just in case these people might have forgot about it, it reminds them, and it could lead to more sales. Also, we want to have a one-click upsell active. So stuff that's related to your product, just have a one-click add to cart, throw it in there just in case, just to boost our AOV. And next, our checkout page should be very clean, no distractions, clean logo, brand colors. Don't be changing up, having like brown and neon green, like all that weird stuff. Just basic checkout page. You don't even have to touch the checkout page because typically it's already done for you. Just leave it blank, add your logo to it, keep it clean. That's it. And to really build a website, I'm not sponsored by them, but they're absolutely amazing. If you want it to like set up kind of the framework for everything, you can use Atlas AI. It builds like a whole store for you in like a minute or two or something like that. And then you could just add all this extra stuff that we talked about earlier all into the actual like Shopify store and all that. So this could really automate the process for you, make it a lot quicker. So one thing we also have to understand is most people don't read, they're just scanning over your website, right? So these are some things we want to do. We want to have a hook in the first 3 seconds. So when they hop on your website, you need to have a headline or like a scroll stopping image that drops their jaw. So kind of think about it like the content, you know, you need to have that hook. It's the same kind of ideology. They're being entertained at the same time as they're scrolling and looking and about to buy your product. One of the biggest things is we need to be showing the benefits, not just the features. So let's say we're selling a skincare serum. We want to show the benefits. So maybe a before and after picture of someone with acne, and then they use the product for 7 days and they didn't have acne after. Not just the features like this has hydrochloric acid and has aspinol. I don't know. It has stuff in it. Like you don't want to talk about just the features. You want to talk about all the benefits that come with it because you're selling that lifestyle. You're selling the end result to people. You're not just selling the feature or the product. And then underneath your like pictures and your products, you don't want to have the longest like paragraph shit and all that. You want to just use bullet points with emojis or something like that with some visuals. People are scanning. They're not reading. They're not trying to read a novel here. So you want to keep it very bland. Like kind of like how I have it here, you know, it's just easy for you guys to read. I'm not writing big paragraphs, which I could, but who wants to look at big paragraphs nowadays? You know what I mean? Also, we want to have our call to action very high up. So a buy now or add to cart button immediately. So if they don't want to do no joking around or messing around, they could just click it, buy it immediately and go. Because a lot of times that's what people are doing. A lot of people don't scroll through your whole entire website. Also, we want to show the offer before they scroll, so they need to just understand what they're getting into. You don't want to have to make them scroll to see that they could get buy one, get one free or some shit like that. So these are the things you don't want to do. You don't want to use big paragraphs in your website, hide the offer below the fold, use super dark themes, assume that they're going to read everything, and rely on fantasy designs to sell. You want to rely on clarity. You need to be very simple, aesthetic. Like aesthetic is king when it comes down to all of this. You want to keep it very, very aesthetic. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that we're talking about. Like if you guys do all this good stuff, like you're going to make bread, okay? So yeah, if you guys like actually follow all this stuff like step by step, you're going to make money. This is the exact system that I followed to make multiple 7 figures. My students in total have amassed over $500,000. So this actually works. It might be information they already knew, but I know some of you guys found some valuable information out of this. But if you follow this step by step, you're gonna make money without a doubt. If you guys ever need help, DM me on Instagram. I could help you out 1-to-1. I don't sell the course. I don't do none of that garbage. I don't need your money. I don't care. But if you truly need help and you're struggling with dropshipping, hit me up on Instagram. I love you guys, and I believe in all of you to the fullest extent.